Call the meeting to order and call on Councilman Barton to lead us in the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll.
Councilman Poole.
Here.
Councilman Cotton.
Here.
Councilman Watson.
Here.
Councilman Barton.
Here.
Mayor Lovelace. Mayor Lovelace.
Here.
Okay. We have a quorum for business, sir.
Approval of the minutes from the last meeting.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Cotton, seconded by Councilman Barton to approve the minutes from the last meeting. Is there any discussion? Councilman Poole?
Yes.
Councilman Cotton?
Yes.
Councilman Watson?
Yes.
Councilman Barton?
Yes.
Motion passes and the minutes are approved.
I'd like to welcome our visitors here today. I appreciate you joining us for this meeting. Approval of the agenda.
Mayor, the council has a copy of the agenda. There's a copy of the agenda on the wall for those in the audience. Are there any changes that need to be made to the agenda? Hearing none, all those who would like to approve the agenda as we have it, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it, and the agenda is approved as presented.
Under old business, we have none. And under new business, the first item that we have is approval of the accounts payable.
Mayor, I offer motion for accounts payable for the month of November.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Watson, seconded by Councilman Barton to approve accounts payable. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Councilman Poole.
Yes.
Councilman Cotton.
Yes.
Councilman Watson.
Yes.
Councilman Barton.
Yes.
The motion passes and accounts payable are approved.
Last week, I think as most people are aware, Councilman Bill Littles passed away. And at his funeral, I spoke, and I'm going to read into the record the eulogy that I spoke at his funeral. Words can seem hollow at times like this, but speaking at this celebration of the life of Bill Littles is truly an honor. I knew Bill Littles all my life and watched as he worked diligently to provide for his family. At one point, working at Container Corporation of America, working at the Country Club of Brewton, and running a cleaning service all at the same time. He was an entrepreneur and respected businessman all his life. But he was much more. He cared for and honored his family, and his faith was something that sustained him when all else ceased to matter. The last few years, we served together as elected officials for the city of Brewton. I could list dozens of times when his wisdom and good judgment helped steer our city in the right direction. He represented the people of District 3 and all of the city as a man of great courage and unquestionable ethics and reason. He always put the best interests of our entire city above all else in his decision-making, and his life is an example to us all. Nothing I can say could fully capture the full measure of the man Bill Littles was, or adequately describe how much he will be missed. But we can use his life as a challenge to look closely at our own struggles and face them with the kind of courage and wisdom he showed to us all. Thank you. We would also, I'd like to speak to the process on filling Councilman Little's seat. The process is City Council within 60 days can make an appointment, or the governor can make an appointment after that, or there can be a special election after the governor. But I'm sure the City Council, we will have somebody to appoint to that seat within 60 days. The next item I call on City Council. The City Clerk.
Mayor, there are plans to construct a parallel taxiway out at the Brewton Municipal Airport. In order to be able to accomplish that, sizable federal funds will be needed, and application for all of that will proceed. This resolution is to make an application to ALDOT for typically what they would pay for projects as part of the state's share. This resolution requests $46,562 from ALDOT to help with the support of the funds for this parallel taxiway, but it also pledges matching funds from the city that would be equal to the 5% amount that is being requested from ALDOT. And this is pretty standard procedure on these airport grants. ALDOT usually provides 5%, and the city provides matching funds of that amount. In order to be able to continue on with the process, this resolution needs to be addressed by the council.
Mayor, I offer a motion to approve resolution number 15-1109.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Watson to approve resolution number 15-1109, seconded by Councilman Barton. Is there any discussion?
Steve, one question. Should the federal portion of that not be given to the city, or the application for the parallel taxiway not be granted by the feds, then the city would not be liable, or the state either? In other words, this is contingent upon the grant being given to the city.
It is, sir, contingent upon the federal grant coming through, and then we'd have to go through the bidding process to bid out the project and all that. It's just part of the procedure we have to do to get all the ducks in a row. Any other discussion? Hearing none. Councilman Poole?
Yes.
Councilman Cotton?
Yes.
Councilman Watson?
Yes.
Councilman Barton?
Yes.
The motion to approve resolution number 15-1109 passes, and we will proceed with this pre-application process.
City Clerk, continue.
There is another business that is wanting to locate in a downtown building in the downtown Brewton Business Historic District. It's 31 Hourglass LLC, also known as Count 31, owned by Charles Larry Murphy. He wants to open up a restaurant in the backside of what is currently the Hourglass building. It would be a full-service restaurant that could serve 150 to 200 people. He also wants to do catering to events out of that business, and the front side of the business would continue to operate or function as a place for receptions, weddings, meetings, and the like. His plan projects that some 15 to 20 people would be initially employed. He projects and anticipates that maybe $15,000 to $20,000 in business would be turned. That would generate a certain amount of sales tax that certainly could be of benefit to the city. His contention is that this would be beneficial to economic development for the city of Brewton, and of course could very well perhaps contribute to revitalization of the downtown business historic district by drawing customers there and occupying a building with a business. He's requesting some economic incentives, or a tax grant, or not a tax grant, but an economic grant that would help with the startup and the operation of his business. In order to be able to follow through on this process properly, the City Council would first need to schedule a public hearing. With this resolution, we could do that. We also would require publication of this public hearing, and on such date, the public hearing could be held on December the 14th. In that public hearing, those for or against granting this grant would have opportunity to speak and be heard. So this resolution is simply stating that it may contribute to economic development to provide this grant for 31 Hourglass LLC, and we are scheduling a public hearing to give public opportunity to give input on that.
Make a motion to approve 15-1109-1.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Barton to approve resolution number 15-1109-1, seconded by Councilman Cotton. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Councilman Poole,
Yes.
Councilman Cotton,
Yes.
Councilman Watson,
Yes.
Councilman Barton.
Yes.
The motion to approve resolution number 15-1109-1 passes, and the publication will be held in the Brewton Standard, and we will have a public hearing to this effect on December the 14th, 2015.
We do have a vacancy coming up on the Brewton Public Library Board, and I appoint a committee of Councilman Joe Watson and Councilman Frank Cotton to come back with a nominee. On the Tree and Beautification Board, there are several vacancies coming up, and this is a mayoral appointment. And I reappoint Kelly Billingsley, Catherine Fountain, and Mary Catherine Adams to that board. Next item is Alabama Power Company Easement, and I call him City Clerk.
This is a drawing that has been submitted by Alabama Power Company. They're requesting an easement to be able to put in poles and a power line that would service the E.O. Wilson Park. I put this in front of Craig Jerkins, Public Works Director, and he said everything looks in line and to be in order. But I just wanted to present this to the council to get their formal approval before we sign any paperwork to grant this easement to them.
I have a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve the request for an easement from Alabama Power Company. Motion by Councilman Watson, seconded by Councilman Barton. Is there any discussion?
Steve, any idea when they, excuse me, they're gonna start on it?
No, they did not indicate that to me, sir.
Okay.
Any discussion? Hearing none other, Councilman Poole?
Yes.
Councilman Cotton?
Yes.
Councilman Watson?
Yes.
Councilman Barton?
Yes.
The motion passes and the easement is granted, and we will process the necessary paperwork for that.
Under announcements, Councilman Cotton has someone he wants to call on.
Ron, come on now.
Mr. Mayor, my wife and I lived here, moved here in 1991, live on Pine Forest Drive, and since that time, the ditch has been replenished and rocks filling that ditch up with the water flows to the backyard and everything, and a lot of work that was done to clean the area off around the house, and part of the acreage on the side of my house belongs to the city. And over the years, a large number of trees there, big oak trees and things have begun to die, and they could be some damage to power lines to my house. And so about a month ago, I called Craig and asked him to come out and look at that with me and see if there's a possibility some of those trees could be cut down before something happened. And I wanted to come and thank Craig and thank the city for allowing that to be done. Those trees have been cut down. We appreciate it very, very much. And I just wanted to say a thank you to y'all, because sometimes that doesn't happen, but it has happened for us. And I know my wife is very appreciative, and we are to the city and to Craig and for the work that they did fairly quickly to get that done because of the damage that those trees have become. And I just want to come and say thanks to y'all for that to be done.
We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Are there any other announcements?
I have none other, sir.
Under comments, on behalf of myself and of the council, we've drafted a paper to recognize Veterans Day. Veterans Day is going to be on Wednesday, November the 11th. And on behalf of the council, I wanted to read this. This week, we will mark a national day of gratitude and respect for those who have traveled this rugged world to places forsaken of peace and comfort. Fighting men and women have served in our stead on our behalf in places like World War II era Germany, the Philippines, shortly after the bombing of Pearl Harbor, Korea, the jungles of Vietnam, or burning desert of Iraq, Kuwait, or inhospitable mountain ranges of Afghanistan. or amidst rapidly changing political landscapes in northern Africa. And sadly, the list of war-torn countries seems to grow daily. At each instance, when our nation calls, they go. They serve to be sure we can speak our minds, earn our living, raise our children, and vote our conscience in a land that dares guarantee rights of its people. They sleep in freezing mud and grinding sand and in narrow bunks on ships at sea, and travel crowded in airplanes overhead with one hope in mind, that someone back home will remember their service and appreciate their sacrifice, so this life we so cherish is protected. So as your children play, your friends and family gather in the coming weeks to celebrate days sacred to the faith of many, let us remember and show gratitude for those who have seen days when safety is unheard of, comfort non-existent, and peril abundant. Those are the true heroes, those who bear the scars both seen and unseen. The men and women who serve our nation in times of conflict are most deserving of our admiration, not only on Wednesday, November 11th, but every day we are blessed to live in freedom. Thank you. I don't have any further now.
Motion we adjourn.